on your blanket or cushion, sitting up tall so we can rock forward and back a couple of times. Find your sit bones. And then that way you can have your shoulders right above the hips and let the shoulders drop. You can kind of lift them up, pull them back a couple of times. Just sending that message to your shoulder muscles. And then bringing your head to an upright position. So we're going to tuck the chin at first so you can feel the back of your neck lengthening. So you can feel that long extension in the vertebrae. And then keeping that length, we're going to bring the head back up. So lifting the chin, just balancing it right on top of the spine. So there's no effort to hold your head up. And then let the eyes close. Bring the palms together to heart. Find your center. Connecting with the breath. Set the intention of healing and peace, always toward yourself and others. And then as you open your eyes, bring the hands to the sides and leading to your right side, reach out with the left. And let's bring the arm across the chest and back out, making a circle. Just feeling that range of motion in the shoulder. And reverse. And now we're gonna leave the arm up right here. We're gonna just open it back, stretching across your chest muscles, your pectoralis. Like you're trying to touch the back wall, and then we're gonna bring the arm up alongside the ear. And then bending the elbow, let's see if we can touch the opposite shoulder. And then slowly come out. Let's switch sides. Extend through the right. And then slowly bring the arm across the chest. And out, making a circle. And reverse. And now let's bring the arm all the way up. Open across the pectoralis. Lean that arm back, reach back. And then bring the arm up alongside the ear. And reach for that opposite shoulder. And slowly come out. And let's stretch the legs out. You can take your blanket out. And as you extend the legs forward, lean back on your arms. And we're just going to flex and point the feet. Flex and point. And then we're going to bring the feet together. So the big toes are touching. Turn in, turn out with the feet. So try to isolate this small movement. It is just in your ankles. Some people say, how do you do that? How do you keep the big toes together? So try to keep them together even on the out. Sometimes the ankles get really locked up. You don't want that. You want some mobility there. All right, so now let's separate the feet. We're going to rotate the ankles, big circles, warming up the ankle joints. Very important for athletes. Most athletes ignore their ankle joints. And reverse. All right, and then just roll the legs side to side. We're going to bend the knees with the feet wide. So mat width apart like this on the edges of your mat, rolling side to side, the windshield wiper check. Your legs going side to side like windshield wipers. Go slowly. And then see how close you can get your knees toward the floor. You're going to start sliding forward on your butt. When that happens, just walk your hands a little closer. Okay, so this is our check-in test. We're going to come back to this toward the end of the class. So now let's bring the feet to one side. And we're going to transition over to your hands and knees, the tabletop. So take a moment. When you're ready, start rotating the head in a full circle. Go slowly. Feeling the neck. Notice if it feels tight. And we're going to try to make it smoother, more fluid. Fluid circles.
and reverse. And then let's bring the head to center. We're going to tuck the chin around the back. Exhale. And inhale, open the front. Keep going with the cat and cow stretches, rounding the back. Try to coordinate with the breath. And let's see if we can really mobilize the spine here, especially the thoracic, your mid-back. Trying to create some good arching and rounding in the mid-back. And let's bring the back to neutral. We're going to step the right leg forward into lunge. So take a moment to bring your right foot up to lunge, fingers on the floor. We're going to slowly sink into a deep lunge first. So deep, deep lunge. Press down with the hips. Compressing the right side of your abdomen. And now we're going to curl the back toes under and straighten the back leg. Holding it, and let's rotate from here to the right. Slow, open out with the right arm, reach up, and release. Let's bring the back knee carefully to the floor again, and walk your hands over to the left. So both hands on your left. We're just going to sink a little deeper. Drop the hips. You can always come down with your elbows to the floor if that's comfortable. But the focus here is really just to drop the hips lower. All right, now from here, we're going to come back onto your palms. And then just place your right hand up to the front knee. Left hand stays on the floor. We're going to do another gentle twist to the right. Try to turn from your rib cage here. And then again, with the right arm, reach up one more time. Up toward the ceiling. And release. Let's bring the hips back, knees together, and let's step the left foot forward into lunge. Take your time, left foot. So your arms are going to be on either side of the front leg first. Fingers on the floor. Sink. Deeper and deeper, compressing the belly there on the left. You want to feel that compression. Take a breath there. And now let's curl the back toes, straighten the back leg. And rotating to the left. Go slowly as you open up. As you reach up, take a breath. And release. Bring the back knee down. And walk your hands over to the right. Come down to flat palms. Sink the hips deeper. If you like, you can come down to the elbows. That's not necessary. Taking a deeper breath here as well. You can breathe into your hips. Since you're stretching the hips, you can really feel the breath there. And then coming up as you straighten your elbows, place your left hand up to the front knee. Rotate from the rib cage, and one more time, reach up with the left arm. And release. Okay, great. Let's bring the knees together again. So the knees are going to be right next to each other here. Walk your hands to a wide angle, so your hands are going to be over your mat, wide stance, and rock side to side with your hips. Go directly to the side, so you can feel the stretch right along the side of your hip. So that glute medius on the side and the IT band. You can hold it for like a second on each side before you switch over a couple of more times. And then coming back to center. And here we're going to bring the hands back to the mat in front of you, shoulder level. And separate the knees to hip distance. We're going to curl the toes under in preparation for down dog. So here, walk your hands a little bit forward ahead of your shoulders. Splay out your fingers. And let's lift up. So we're going to lift the knees first, then the hips all the way up. Look down at your feet and slowly pedal your feet, sinking into each heel. Go real slow here. As you sink and hold each compression for a couple of seconds, you can really feel how tight your calf muscles are. and how close you can get your heels down. They don't have to touch the floor. One thing I learned from watching the first episode is they said that when you stretch your calves, you relax your calves, you actually activate your relaxation response. So from here, we're going to walk the feet, taking short steps, small steps up into the forward bend. Take your time, a few steps. And then keeping the knees bent. Just relax from the hips down, relaxing the whole upper body. The neck, the shoulders, the arms. Just let them release. If possible, let go of the head so the head can just droop down. You can rock the head side to side, yes and no. And now from here, we're going to place the hands right on top of the legs, right above the ankles or below the knees, and slowly straighten the arms. So we're going to come into this hinging angle position, hinging at your hips. And as you straighten your arms, also straighten your knees and your back. So try to lift your tailbone up and your chest up. Staying there, taking steady, comfortable breaths. Apparently, when you stretch your calves, we are wired that way from thousands of years ago. When the muscles of the calves are relaxed, that means we don't have to run, because running means sympathetic nervous system, and relaxing means parasympathetic. And we're going to walk the hands up the legs, slowly taking small steps with your hands up the legs as you come up all the way to standing. And let's raise the arms up alongside the ears. Focus your eyes for balance and bring the palms together overhead. I'm going to go to the right side, stretch to your right. And then slowly over to the left. And let's come back up to center and separate your palms. Stay up though. We're gonna check balance here. Rock forward and lift the heels up. Heels off the floor, balancing on the balls of your feet if you can, and slowly bring the arms halfway forward and bend the knees forward. Still balancing and still breathing. Now, if you feel quite comfortable here, sink another inch and another inch. Activating those quads. And let's come back up. Inhale and exhale, just relax down. Okay, great. Let's come up to the top of your mat. We're going to bring the palms together to your heart and do a couple of rounds of sun salutations. So we're going to cross the thumbs, stretch forward, raise the arms, inhale, arch back, exhale, fold from the hips all the way down, bend the knees, send the left leg far, far back into lunge. Take a moment here as you bring your back knee carefully to the floor and sink. And now from here, we're going to sweep the arms up and find balance. Gazing to the front, lift the chest. Focus on lengthening your front. So stretching the belly. You can even lift the chin. Let's take another long breath. Inhale. As you exhale, release down, palms down, and step back to down dog. So here again, take your time as you bring your feet at hip distance. Sink into the heels in down dog. Raise the hips up and just play with your knees for a moment. You can bend the knees, you can straighten the knees. Just notice the difference in how it feels with the knees straight as you drop the heels down at the same time. Really feel the back of your legs there. And then slowly bring the body forward into plank. Just going to hold plank for one breath. And then bring the knees down to the floor. Bring the chest down between your hands. Slide into cobra. So here we're going to do low cobra, belly on the floor. Keep your legs long and squeeze between the shoulder blades. You can keep your chin a little tucked. And just breathe. Feel your breath against the floor here. No pressure on the palms, not yet. So you're holding just with the strength of your back. Okay, now we're going to put some pressure on your palms As you slowly curl up, peeling your belly, maybe just an inch, 2 inches off the floor. Lift the chin and look up. And slowly roll down. Curl the toes under. Push into the floor. Lift up to tabletop first. Tabletop, and then fluidly transition up to down dog. You can change your hands, adjust them. As you lift up to down dog, look at your feet and step the feet together. We're gonna stretch the left leg off the floor and straight up toward the ceiling. Just see how far it goes. And as you lower the left leg, just use that momentum to step the left foot forward into lunge, bring the back knee to the floor, and when you're ready, inhale, sweep up. Find balance, stay on the midline. Focus on length in the front of your body. Lifting the chest, lifting the chin. Another breath, inhale. As you exhale, release. Touch the floor with your fingers and step forward. Feet hip distance. Sweep out with the arms through the sides. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, palms together at your heart. Just take a breath here. Keep your palms together. Stay balanced. Roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Okay, so second round. With a couple of extra variations, we're going to cross the thumbs again, stretch the arms forward, reach up, arch back, inhale. Exhale and fold from the hips, bend the knee, send the right leg. Bring that knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep up. Once you find balance on the midline, palms together at your heart, and now rotating to your left. That's it. We're going to bring the elbow over into the full twist. Now, if you feel balanced here and comfortable, you can make an extra challenge. Curl the back toes, straighten the back leg. Good breath. And coming back to the front slowly, palms down. Step back to down dog. Bring the feet to hip distance as you sink into the heels. And as you lift your hips up, rock the hips side to side a little, lengthening the sides of the body, taking your hips up away from your hands. All right, and then slowly bring the body forward into plank. Just a moment here, holding. We'll bring the knees down to the floor. Chest forward, lower down between the hands, slide into cobra, abdomen to the floor, legs are long, activate the back. And for this one, we're gonna lift the palms off the floor, still breathing though, and slowly stretch your arms out. And then pull the palms back in, push into the floor with your hands slowly. Curling up, peeling the belly off the floor, just to a comfortable place. Look up. And slowly roll down. Curl the toes, push into the floor. Tabletop first, then down dog. Adjust your hands if you need to. And looking down at your feet, step the feet together. Let's stretch the right leg up. Only as far as comfortable. And as you lower the right leg, step it all the way forward into lunge. Bring the back knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep up. Find balance. Palms together. Staying on the midline as you bring your palms to your heart. Rotate to the right. Full twist here, bringing the elbow over. You can stay right here. Just breathe. If you feel comfortable, curl the back toes and straighten the back leg for one more breath. Coming back to the front, touch the floor with fingertips and step forward. Feet hip distance, sweep out through the sides. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, palms together at your heart. Great, and relax the arms. You can shake out the legs for a moment. Let's do the tree pose next, okay, the balancing pose. So here, make sure to splay out your toes because we want to activate all the muscles in our feet. So toes wide, transfer the weight to the right leg, And here, watch for that hip collapsing in, right? You don't want to wobble into it. You want to really lift from the hip. Stay lifted, and then rotate your left hip. Place your left foot at the ankle. And if you feel comfortable, try above the knee. Bring the palms together. Focus your eyes somewhere in the front. And then slowly, as you stay focused, reach up. Find your tree with the arms. Stay lifted with that hip. Your hip is strong, rock solid. The hip is rock solid, but the pose can sway, just like trees can sway. So you can allow your foot to wiggle and rock on the floor, building strength in the foot muscles. Gently extending through the fingertips, extending through the crown of the head. And slowly relax the arms down. You're gonna come out of the pose slowly. Take your time, shake out the right leg if you need to. Same thing on the left, so step by step. First step, splay out the toes. You wanna activate those, create more space. Transfer the weight, all right? So this hip is strong now. Rotate, place the foot where it's comfortable, ankle or above the knee. Focus, bring the palms together. Take the arms up. Make sure your shoulders are right above the hips the whole time. Shoulders above the hips. As you find the tree pose with your arms, also position your head right on top of your spine. So ideally, gaze straight ahead in the direction of the horizon. Gently reaching up through the fingertips as if someone was pulling you up, an invisible force lengthening you up through the crown of the head. That's great. And slowly let go all the way down. Very good. Shake out the leg. Okay, very good. So let's come up to the top of your mat. So we're going to prepare for the Warrior One little sequence, Warrior One sequence. From the top of your mat, bring the palms together. Transfer the weight to your right again. Pick up the left knee. Give it a circle with that ankle. And now with control, we're going to step the left leg all the way back, long stance for Warrior One. So you're going to keep the front knee bent. Make sure your back foot is fully planted. And from here, let's relax the arms down for a moment and sweep up with the arms alongside the ears. We're actually going to interlace the fingers over top of our heads. Push the palms up into the ceiling. Straightening the elbows, lift the rib cage, stretch your belly, and take a nice long breath here at the same time, pushing back into the heel. And then release your hands and lower the arms down through the sides, taking really wide angles slowly with your arms. And we're going to pause right here in this flight position, stretching across the pectoralis muscles. This is reversing our habitual slouching pose. And release. Let's place the hands on the hips, straighten the front leg. Now let's keep both legs straight. So we're going to do 2 rounds here. First round, halfway inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold slowly and pause halfway. So we're just going to load up the front leg. I want you to just feel that stretch, gentle stretch. Even if you can go further, try to resist going further. That's the key, is not to go all the way down. Not yet. We want to strengthen, activate those muscles. Now, if you feel comfortable, sink just an inch deeper with control, hinging from the hips again so your back stays long. Okay, now, as you inhale, lift up with the chin and chest all the way to upright, and then just roll your shoulders back, send them a message to relax. Second round, a little deeper this time. Inhale. Exhale, fold from the hips, go slow, and now we're gonna release the arms down. So let them just hang down, even if the fingers don't touch the floor. But if you are able to place your fingers down, you can let your back round. You could even try to touch your nose to the front leg or your forehead, if that's comfortable. Okay, we'll take one more breath. Don't go too far. On the next inhale, lift up with the chin and chest. Place your hands up to the hips. And as you roll up, bend the front knee. Put some weight into the front leg right away. And bring the shoulders up over the hips. You're back in Warrior One. We're going to go into the flight position. Stretch your arms back to open across the chest. Inhale, nice long breath. And as you exhale, release and just step your back foot closer to step out. And great. So let's switch sides. So we're going to step the left leg forward. Oh, no, we stepped into it. So let's do that on this side. So feet hip distance at the top of your mat. Bring the palms together and focus. I wanted us to do this. This is cool. Shift the weight to the left. Pick up the right. Give it a circle. And then with control, step it back. Okay, once you landed there, make sure the heel is planted. And now right from here, we're going to interlace the fingers. Push the palms forward. Raise the arms up. All the way up, lifting the rib cage, so feeling that stretch in the front of the body, the abdomen, the internal organs are stretching even. Another breath. And then release your hands, lower the arms through the sides, go slowly and pause in the flight. Reversing the slumping pose. And release. Place the hands on the hips, straighten the front leg. Inhale, first round. Exhale, hinge, and pause halfway. So even if you feel flexible, deliberately hold yourself back from plopping down because we want to build strength. And even on the second round, when we go down the second time, make sure to have this kind of sense of resistance that you're feeling here because you want to be firing those muscles as you're stretching them. It protects them and it also strengthens them. On the next inhale, lift up, all the way up. Give your shoulders a roll, rolling back. Second round, inhale, long back. Exhale, fold. Okay, so slowly coming down, we're gonna drop the arms, relax the shoulders. Let the fingertips reach. So I'm so tight because I run so much. My fingers barely touch the floor, which is fine. But if you are comfortable, you can place your palms all the way down. Just go as far as you can comfortably, maintaining some resistance. So like I said, keep that tension going in the legs, stretching and strengthening. And now the next inhalation, we're going to lift up with the chin and chest. Place your hands back to the hips, bend the front knee, lift the chest, shoulders up above the hips, stretch your arms back into the flight position. We're going to take a nice long breath, inhale here. And exhale, release, step out. Okay, great. Shake out the legs. Okay, so let's step the legs out wide. And if you have room, you can face me like this. Otherwise, step your right leg forward on your mat. Okay, and then make sure your feet are parallel to each other. We're going to place the hands on the hips and then turn out your right leg from the hip and bend the knee in the same direction as the big toe. So just make sure the knee is not collapsing inward. We're going to prepare for Warrior Two. Hips are open. Let the arms float up. Rotate out from the shoulders. So this rotation is also important because we round our shoulders habitually from sitting forward too much. So feel that rotation out, and then let's rotate the neck to look over the right shoulder. And just pause here for a couple of breaths. Stretching across the chest, into the fingertips. Now let's bend the front knee a little deeper, just half an inch or an inch deeper, and then begin to lean back into reversed warrior. Your right arm is reaching up for the sky. I keep wanting to climb a mountaintop and do this on top of a mountain. And then slowly come out, lean forward into side angle. We're going to rest the elbow just above the right knee. Take your left arm alongside here. And if you feel comfortable there, sink your hips a little deeper, bend the front knee a little deeper, and slide your elbow behind that knee. Reach your fingers for the floor, sinking deeper. And now using your upper arm, lift up to bring yourself all the way out. Straighten the front leg. Place your hands on the hips for a triangle preparation. So stay where you are with alignment. Your right leg is still rotated out.
We're going to hinge sideways on the right side and come back up. So let's do that a couple of times, the usual. Unlocking the hips, a little deeper each time. You can place your fingers on the hips, feeling those muscles. Okay, so this time as you lift up, stretch the arms, take a lot of space, and then reach through into triangle slowly. The same way, we're going to bring the hand to the knee at first, even if you can go deeper. Just start at the knee and then slowly sink down, just letting your body kind of melt to a place that feels comfortable for today. Activate the legs. We're strengthening just like before, always moving eccentrically, which means you're stretching and strengthening at once. Notice that core working, your transverse abdominis working here as you keep your chest open. Now let's rotate the neck to look up in the direction of your thumb. And through the fingertips, pull yourself up to come out of the pose. And let's relax the arms down for a moment and turn the feet around. So right foot in, left foot out. Or you can bring the legs together and then step your left leg to the front of your mat. Bring the feet to parallel first. Hands on the hips. Rotate the left leg out. And then bend the left knee in the same direction as the big toe. So keep that open. I mean the hip, not the knee. The knee is just hinged or flexed. And let's bring the arms up. Rotate out. Open the chest. And turn the neck to look over the left. Let's pause here for a couple of breaths. Just feeling how open, how balanced. Bend the front knee a little deeper. And begin to lean back into reverse. Reaching up, mountaintop. And slowly come out, lean forward to side angle, rest the elbow. Take your right arm all the way up alongside the ear. You can stay right here, and if you feel comfortable, slide the elbow off to the back of the knee, reach the fingers for the floor. You can touch the floor if that's comfortable. But you have to drop the hips a little lower, that's it. And now using your upper arm, lift up, pull yourself to come out, straighten the front leg, place your hands on the hips, keep the chest open, and hinge sideways right away. With straight legs though, so try to keep your front knee straight. That's it, keep going, a couple more times, just like that, from the hips. A little deeper. One more. Okay, this time as you come up, we're going to stretch the arms, take a lot of space, and then reach through, straight legs, and bring the left hand to the left knee. Pause right there, and then continue sliding to your comfortable place so that you feel just like comfortably intense. Okay, so some stretching, but also where you're able to activate your legs, lengthen them from the hips into the feet. And let's see if we can rotate the neck to look down at your front foot. And then slowly rotate to look up in the direction of your thumb. And through the fingertips, pull up all the way out. Come out, relax the arms, turn the feet in. And then just walk heels and toes, feet together, shake out the legs. Let's come down to the floor, lie down on your back with the head pointing toward me, so toward the front. Your head is to the front. Just relax. When you get there, roll the head side to side on your back. You can unlock the jaw, also send a message to release the jaw muscles, the masseters, the chewing muscles. Sometimes we don't even know they get tight. Take a breath into your abdomen. So that also is an area of tension, sending a breath into your belly. And then we're going to raise the arms all the way up alongside the ears. And just rest them there for one breath, bringing your arms all the way to the floor. And now very slowly give yourself a stretch through the right arm and leg, and then through the left arm and leg. And just alternate, extending through the right side, then the left side,
And in fact, you can mix them up. You can do right arm, left leg, or something like that. Just lengthen your legs out. And then as you come back to center, we're going to bring the arms back alongside your body and slowly roll over onto the abdomen in preparation for Cobra. So we're going to do Cobra one more time because it is such a good pose for your back. So we're going to bring the chin to center, feet close together, legs are long, palms right under the shoulders. So just bring your palms there. And we're going to lift the chin and chest off the floor, peel the chest, and let's hold right there. So no need to press with your hands. Holding with the strength of your back. This is what allows those deep spinal muscles, the fourth layer of muscles, to activate and push the intervertebral discs back in and essentially prevent or treat herniating and bulging discs over time. So now let's lift the palms off the floor, but continue to breathe here as if you were surfing, and you can feel the wave of your breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Okay, a couple of more breaths. Try to stay up with the breath. And relax. Make a pillow with your hands and just relax. All right, from here we're going to come up to Sphinx pose. So take a moment to bring your elbows right underneath the shoulders. All right, elbows right under, Sphinx pose. You're propped up on your forearms. Let's just take a breath right here. You'll feel this in the mid-back. Send the breath there, right into your kidneys. Okay, while holding, we're going to extend through the right leg, just the right leg, and activate your right glute. And see if you can raise your right leg a little off the floor, a couple of inches. Focus on length and stay there. A lot of times our glutes aren't firing, and then relax. Same on the left. Lengthen and lift from the glute. And relax. We're going to come back to the right side. Extend, lift up the right leg, and now try to keep it lifted as you bend the knee. I'm going to try to keep the knee off the floor if you can. Only if comfortable. The hip is pressed down. The glute is working. The knee's up and relax down. Let's try the same on the left. So extend, lift up, and then bend the knee. And relax. Okay, it's harder than it looks. Slide the elbows out. Make a pillow one more time. Actually, you know what? Let's go into child's pose from here. We're going to push into the floor, slowly lift up and sit back into child's pose. And separate your knees pretty wide. So separate your knees about a foot apart or to the edges of your mat. Come down to your forearms, relax down. And you can always support your forehead with your hands or even stack up your fists. But do try to rest your forehead completely down so you don't have to hold your head up. And you can give your shoulders a shrug. Rock the head side to side in place, so release those neck muscles. We'll just take a couple of breaths here, right into the back. Okay, slowly raising the head up, take your time, rolling up, and we're gonna lift up off the heels first, and then bring the knees together, so knees close, and then we're gonna sit back, bring the feet to one side. As you sit back, stretch the legs out. So legs all the way forward, and scoot forward on your mat so you have some room behind you. And then we're gonna bring the legs into a wide angle like that. So take a moment to find space in your space. You can bring the legs wide, lean back on your arms, and we're just gonna roll the right leg side to side.
Okay, so working on the right leg, we're going to turn in from the hip. Keep those hip rotators active, internal rotators, and drag the leg across the floor to meet the other leg. Okay, so then turn out from the hip and bring the leg back out. So let's do that a couple of times. So if you're have a lot of space in there, like you're scrunching up your mat, you might have to hover. You might have to lift your leg a little off the floor. Focus on rotation. Rotate out from the hip, rotate in. And of course, if you find this difficult, you know what that means. That means it's weak. And this is a test of how weak. And there's also a treatment to make it stronger. Balance your hip muscles. One more time. And as you bring it out, we're going to roll the leg side to side, make it nice and relaxed, and switch over to the left side. So turn in, so your foot is going to turn in, but it's from the hip. It's coming from the hip. That's important. Bring it together, turn out, bring it out. Keep going. Okay, paying attention to the hip muscles, how balanced they are. You know, this is hard. Even, you know, it's funny because I'll ask someone who's very fit, like a runner, to do this, and they really have a hard time doing this. And it puzzles them why it is. And it's because we become very specialized, you know, in just one thing. And then, of course, injuries develop because we don't have a balanced approach. So let's do one more. As you bring the leg out, roll it side to side. Okay, so let's leave the legs in this wide angle. In fact, you can bring them out a little wider, comfortable for you. We're going to bring the arms to the front and just climb. Walk your hands forward. Climb your fingertips out like you're climbing a rock wall to a comfortable point. And then just take a breath here, lengthening through the back. Inhale. And as you exhale, soften the shoulders. Let's do that a couple of times. With the breath lengthening, inhale. And softening, exhale. And let's walk the hands out another inch. We'll just hold right there a couple of breaths. Now, as you hold there, see if it's possible to activate your quads, right? So to basically straighten your legs in that position. You can keep some bent in the knees, but see if it's possible to extend through the knees there. Another long breath, exhale tension. And then slowly lifting up. We're going to walk the hands back up slowly, and then just slowly bring the feet, the legs closer and closer together. We're going to lean back, bend the knees, and we're going to repeat that same windshield wiper maneuver that we started with. We're going to roll side to side. Keep the feet really wide. So notice my feet are so wide I can bring my knees down the floor. So try to do the same. If you slide forward, just walk your hands closer. All right, we're not going to do this for too long. We're just going to go over, right over to your right with the knees. So I'm going to go over to my right with my knees. I'm going to pivot so you can see me. And so you're essentially sitting on your right glute, on your right butt. You're going to lean over to the right arm and place your left hand on the left hip. Let's work on this left hip right now. We're going to open this out. You can use your hand to pull it open. You're going to fix it there for a moment. And then bring the knee back down. Rotate internally from the hip and pick up the ankle. So bring it down. Open it wide. And keep through the range of motion. See if you can just fix it at either end range. So fix it there for like half a second. And then keep going. This is another one of those moves. A lot of people say, I can't do this. I can't understand how it is. I can't lift my ankle there. I had my 7-year-old son do this, and he has no problem doing this. No problem at all. So let's bring the knee down, pick up the ankle,
and catch hold over top of it. So holding the ankle with your left hand, we're going to push it back into your hand, lift the leg off the floor, and then just push it back a little bit to open hip. And then from here, we're going to slowly lower down onto your forearm. And just stay there for a moment, feeling that stretch just like you're doing, the King Dancer pose. And now from here, we're going to go in what I call the flying kick, but no flying necessary. We're going to stretch the leg down, arm down, keep them parallel to each other and to the floor, and hold. So feeling that long engagement on your whole lateral left side. Staying there. And then touch the big toe to the ground. Lift the leg up a couple of times. And relax. Okay, let's come back to where we started. And now from here, so we're still sitting on the right glute. We're going to sit up tall and then rotate to your right. So let's walk our hands over a little bit to the right, turn, and then slowly come down to your forearms here. Just go slow, easy twist. And then coming back up onto your palms. And now we're going to walk halfway back and pause with our chest right above the right knee. Okay, so chest over the right knee. You're hinging at the hips. So we're going to work on those same muscles, the piriformis and the deep rotators that we work on when we do the pigeon pose. So this is better. So because we're strengthening. Okay, so we're going to engage those deep muscles you're stretching. Pick up your hands off the floor. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. So you're loading them with your body weight. And then stretch your arms back like you're flying. And hold. Trying to keep the breath. Leaning forward, chest over the knee, and relax. Palms down. And then just relax forward. See if you can bring your forehead down to the floor over the knee. And slowly roll back up. Okay, so now let's lean back for a moment and we're going to swivel the legs around the other way. Same thing on the other side. We're going to repeat that complicated sequence on the other side. So sitting on your left glute, lean to the left arm. Place your right hand right here on the hip. Let's open this out. Bring the knee down. Activate internal rotation. Pick up the ankle. And let's go through this range of motion a few times. Try to pause for half a second at each end point. So you can really feel where that end point is. All right, this time, as you bring the knee down, we're going to catch hold of the ankle right over top. Push it back into your hand. Lift the leg off the floor. Push it back. Let's hold it. Feeling the stretch. And while you're stretching it, slowly come down to your forearm on the left side. Come down to your elbow. Let's take another breath here. Just pushing it back to open that hip. And let it go. Flying kicks. Straighten the leg and the arm. Parallel. And hold. Try to be really side-lying here so you can really feel that lateral engagement. Let's touch the toe, big toe down. Raise the leg back up a couple of times. And relax. Come back to the initial position. So notice my foot and my knee are real close together here. So I'm going to sit up really tall and then rotate over to the left. Walk your hands to the left. Look back. And then slowly come down to your forearms. Take a breath here as you come down. And then coming back up onto your hands. Slowly walking back halfway. We're going to pause again with our chest leaning forward over the left knee. Okay, so pigeon variation. So we're going to feel those hip muscles. I'm sure you're feeling them a little bit. We're going to pick up the hands. Make sure that you're folding, hinging at the hips. So you're loading those muscles, stretching them for sure, but you're also strengthening them, which is the whole point. And breathe. Stretch the arms back, flying pigeon.
You might actually feel it in the opposite leg as well because it's kind of counterbalancing you, which is good as well. And release. Place the hands down, roll forward, bring the forehead down toward the floor, over the knee. And roll up, all the way back up. All right, now let's do that stretch, windshield wiper check again. So this time, of course, we're gonna feel, hopefully, more fluid movement. Rolling side to side. Healthy hips. I should teach a workshop on healthy hips. All my classes are like that. Okay, so let's stretch the legs out and scoot forward so you have some room behind you. And with control, we're gonna roll back. With control to the floor, and then prepare for bridge pose. So we're gonna bend the knees, place the feet at hip distance, keep your feet close to your glutes and arms alongside the body. Okay, so now let's roll up to bridge. And before you get into the bridge pose, let's pause right at the shoulder blade level, shoulder blades. We're gonna rock side to side onto the shoulder blade. So 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right, rocking. And so there are a lot of muscles there that are kind of tight. You know, a lot of people get tension between their shoulder blades. So see if you can find it. You can even kind of compress and hold it on one side a little. Kind of doing a self-release, self-massage. And then as you do that, start tucking your shoulders under, squeezing your shoulder blades closer and closer together until you feel like you're really up on top of your shoulders. We're going to come back to center. We're in the bridge pose now. Activate your legs, your glutes, push the hips up. And now let's focus on the breath here. We're going to take a nice long breath, and as you exhale, sink the belly down into the spine. So we're going to try to tone the digestive organs with the breath. Inhaling a long breath, and then as you exhale, sink the belly, pull the belly in. One more time, this third time, see if you can actually hold the breath out for a few seconds on the exhale, really feeling that extension and emptiness. And slowly release, rolling down all the way to the floor. Take your time. Let's bring the knees up to the chest and roll and circle on your back. Rolling on the sacrum. And now let's open the arms out to the floor into a T and roll your knees to your right into a twist to the right side. Place your right hand on top of that left knee. Just leave your left arm stretched out and gently roll the head side to side in place. Just take a moment to unwind your neck. And just leave the neck where it wants to go. It doesn't have to rotate. And slowly coming back up to center. And then taking that into the twist to the left right away. Try to bring the knees all the way to the floor. Even if the shoulder lifts up, that's okay. And placing your hand on top of the top of the right knee. And the right arm is stretched out. For a moment, roll the head side to side, very slowly. Try to take your head all the way each way to the full range of motion as you rotate one way, then the other way. And then find a good spot for your neck and just leave it there for another breath. Let's come back to center. So as you roll back, taking hold of your knees, and let's point our feet up toward the ceiling. Preparation for happy baby pose. We're going to reach for the edges of the feet. See if you can hook your fingers over that outer edge, the pinky toe side, and separating the knees and rocking side to side across your mid-back.
And if you feel comfortable there, one leg at a time, stretch it out, one leg extend, and the other leg extend. Now from there, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and lower the legs down to the floor in Vajrasana. So soles of the feet together, knees apart. Bring the arms by the sides and tuck the shoulders under. Just like in the bridge pose, squeeze your shoulder blades together in here. And we're going to come up in this position, just like bridge pose, except we're going to press the sides of your feet down into the floor as you lift your hips up off the floor. And here, focusing on the glutes, activating all those connections on your sacrum, the SI ligaments. We want to keep them really strong, not loose. We want to keep them strong and connected because you don't want to be wobbly. And another breath here. And then slowly lower down. Stay there for just a moment. Just rock the legs side to side. And let's stretch the legs down. And make yourself comfortable for deep relaxation. So take a moment to adjust your clothing and your alignment. So you can just relax. We're just going to take a minute here to relax on purpose. Adjust your clothing, roll the head side to side and let your head center. Move the jaw side to side. And make tight fists. Splay out the fingers wide. Tight fists, wide fingers a couple of times, and then we're going to rotate the wrists and relax. Let go of the arms and let go of the legs. Let the back rest, just melting into the floor. The shoulder blades releasing. Soften the front of the body, the abdomen, the rib cage, the heart, and the lungs. Just relaxing. Soften the jaw and all facial muscles, all around the mouth and all around the eyes. Just relaxing. The eyelids, the third eye, the forehead, and the scalp. Without any control, observe the breath. Let it just flow naturally. And taking a deeper, fuller breath into your lungs, filling up the lungs. Roll the head side to side. And then slowly take a moment to bring your knees up and just take a breath on your back with the knees up. And now take another moment to bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. We'll finish the class for just a moment, a short moment of meditation, meditative stillness. You always say how we are always fidgeting in a way. You know, we're busy. Physically, we're busy. Mentally, we're distracted. So it's really nice to find a moment of total silence, total stillness in the body and in the mind. And in that stillness, we actually gain a lot of energy because we dissipate our energy by too much extraneous movement. And so let's just find a comfortable seated position, rock forward and back, bring your shoulders upright, drop them away from your neck.
Bring your head into a comfortable position so it's not spilling forward or spilling back. It's just perfectly poised on top of your spine. Relax the jaw. And we're going to try to relax into stillness. So notice your hands. If your hands are busy, sometimes there's tension in the hands. So just relax your hands completely. And we're going to continue relaxing because tension tends to creep back. So we're going to scan the body on a regular basis and just send that message to soften and release. Soften the forehead, the eyelids, and even the muscles of the eyes inside. Continually relaxing the scalp, the jaw, relaxing yourself into stillness. Just dropping tension away. Notice if it's possible for you to be physically still for just a brief moment. Even the breath becomes very gentle when you're holding very quiet. There's no need for deep breath. Your body's already oxygenated. Easy, subtle breath, relaxing into stillness. That's great. We'll bring the palms together at your heart. And sending the breath into your heart. And out from your heart as well, breathing out from the heart. You can breathe in prana, vitality, and breathe out love and light, becoming a vessel of healing energy. Breathing in healing energy, breathing out light. And let's please bow to our own inner light.